Beta Seconds was my last video in October, huh? Welcome not to my dorm room, but to my apartment. Yeah, lots changed since the last time we've seen each other. Example, I'm married now. To the grind. Also, I graduated college. But who could have seen that future coming? Who would have known that 5 or 6 months ago, something like this would happen? Would a witch know? Would a Wiccan know? Some soothsayer who could see the future? Honestly, I have no idea. While I'm fascinated with magic, and frankly, all of its sources, I don't really understand it. Now, some people might argue that's because it's, not real, but others would argue that's because it's totally real and I'm just bad at doing it. So, hey, that's what this series is going to be. Real magic. I'm going to be exploring sources of theoretically real magic, analyzing their origins, and trying them out for myself to find out if magic is real.
Is it possible to learn this
magic? With that in mind, there is obviously a ton of different information about magic, and there are so many different cultures, so many different practices, so where do you even start? You've seen the title of this video, you know where we're starting. We're starting with the future. For my first endeavor into magic, I will be looking into the future to see if the future bodes well for my efforts. How else but with tarot? Crystal balls, you'll have to wait your turn. And as a recent college graduate, I like to do my research. I like to find out about the origins of things. So that's where we're starting, with the origins of...
So it begins.
Tarot cards have been around since the 1400s, but at that point they weren't used for anything magical. They were actually just used for card games. At this point, an original deck of cards much closer to what we all know and love, i.e. the 4 suits, already existed. Now, tarot games added to this deck a set of 22 cards called the Major Arcana. As the name implies, they were much more important than the Minor Arcana. So basically, there are 2 sections of the deck in existence, the Major and Minor Arcana. As we get to the late 18th century, tarot's history evolved from merely card games to a bona fide mystical ritual. Occult practitioners in France started using tarot decks to read the future. They were more associated with alchemy, and the Marseille tarot deck was made. This is also when you get people like scholar Antoine Court de Gebelin. Antoine Court de Gebelin? Antoine Court de Antoine Court... This guy, who said tarot cards held esoteric wisdom and could be traced back to ancient Egypt. And now, despite his title being scholar, no evidence has ever been found for this claim, or the similar one that tarot traces back to ancient China. In fact, now, sources describe his claims as, direct quote, imagined origins in ancient Egypt. Next time, cite your sources, Antoine. Mine are in the description. Well, tangent aside, fortune telling was getting more popular. Now, and as you can imagine from a practice originating from the occult, there are tons of different ways to do tarot. There is no one specific method everybody used, nor is there one specific method used now. But there are similarities. Namely, you deal cards from the top of the deck, or you pick them from a spread of the deck. Now, the Major Arcana cards indicate spiritual lessons, big life events, or indicate something deep about the person. The Minor Arcana are more about daily life. And the last thing we'll talk about in terms of the development of tarot is from the 1900s. Now, tarot was already relatively known at this point, but for those of you less familiar with history, the very early 1900s saw a huge boost in occult interest. Naturally, tarot also gets bigger and more analyzed, but psychology, as in the actual science, was also going through a renaissance, kind of its inception. As such, the two ended up meshing quite intensely. Namely, Carl Jung's theories on archetypes and the collective unconsciousness were used. Basically, those are psychological ideas that there exists a subconscious database of images and traits that all humans associate with each other subconsciously. Now, these theories were used by practitioners, some of whom began using tarot not as a tool for divination, but for self-exploration and personal growth. The cards became a means to access deeper layers of consciousness and foster inner dialogue. It's an interesting alternative to therapy, I guess. It is probably not as effective, I will just throw that out there, but you do you. And within reason, that brings us to here and now. Well, almost.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So, how on earth do the Major and Minor Arcana work? As in, how do you read the cards themselves? Now, if you want to skip this part of the video, feel completely free. I'll put the timestamp here. So provided you don't care about learning about the cards themselves and their meanings and just want to learn my future, go to this point. I'll make sure to expressly explain what's going on while I'm doing my reading, and I won't hold it against you that much. Alright, let's start with the boring minor arcana before delving into the real meat and potatoes. You gotta eat your vegetables sometime. First is the suit of wands. This suit apparently tells of passion, drive, and creativity. You need to write an essay but have writer's block? Low wand energy. Crazy productive the 20 minutes before it's due? Wand pilled. These cards tell you about journeys that you're on, self-journeys, and your own development. Now apparently this suit is associated with fire for some reason, probably because wizards keep using fireball!
Yo, that's not a spell, you just drinking fireball!
Second is the suit of cups. Now cups are all about emotions, or your relationships with others and how they make you feel. If you get a lot of cup cards, guess that usually means you're about to be in your feels, and there are a few standout cards here. The Page of Cups signifies new paths and emotional opportunities. The Ace of Cups tells of renewal and new beginnings in the emotional field. Five of Cups means emotional changes, which means if you're in a relationship, I have bad news for you. To nobody's surprise, this suit is most associated with water. I mean, that feels like an obvious connection to me. Now let's talk about swords! You get what you signed up for with swords. Conflict, challenges, turbulent waters. Whether it's internal or external, there is a conflict going on with swords. When you flip some swords in your tarot reading, you need some introspection to get through what's coming your way. But when you do so, you'll get through it and learn from whatever is coming your way. Like, if you're breaking up with your significant other because you flipped the Ace of Cups, apparently the Jack of Swords is an important card, and it's a sign that in spite of challenges, you'll need to search for a truth or a new path. I didn't see this being associated with any element, but because wind feels sharp to me and you can experience a cutting wind, I'm gonna go with air. It feels right that every suit gets an element, you know? Finally, we have coins. No snazzy intro this one? Alright, well, the suit of coins, or pentacles, is all about materiality and achievement, not about spiritual or emotional vibes. These cards are representative of material success. For some reason, the suit is described as highlighting the importance of hard work and tenacity and stuff, but honestly, if I read my tarot and get several of the suit of coins, first thing I'm doing is buying a lottery ticket. Hard work be damned. And given the material world connection here, it should come as a surprise to nobody that this card is associated with the earth element. And with all of that in mind, we finally finished talking about the minor arcana. So now, I have 22 cards to talk about in the major arcana. There is a lot to talk about here. So first, we're going to address the broad strokes of the whole major arcana. As we know, the major arcana is spiritual and grand, which means when you get these cards, they're usually talking about your life in very broad strokes. Now within the major arcana, they're numbered 0 through 21. In broad strokes, there are meanings applied to the numbers of the cards. Cards 0 through 8, or the Fool to the Chariot, show early stage growth and new beginnings. Maybe you're starting a new job, a new relationship is on its way, or one is about to go into a new phase, etc., etc. Now, the middle cards, 9 through 14, or Strength through Temperance, tell of challenges and lessons. You'll be facing something through which you'll evolve from. And the final cards, 15 through 21, or the Devil through the World, indicate you're having a breakthrough. Something could be ending, or a mastery of some sort. There are 5 sets of trios which have importance and meanings in association with each other. So if during your reading you come across 2 of these cards, or better yet, all 3, take special note. There are the initiation cards, which are the Fool, the Magician, and the Chariot. These 3 tell of beginnings, self-discovery, setting out on a new adventure, initiation. There's a theme of novelty to these 3 cards, almost an optimistic sense of adventure, which separates them from the others. Overall, I give this trio the secret 6th star out of 5 stars. Then there are the challenge cards, the Hanged Man, Death, and the Tower. They speak to transformation, release, or breakthrough, apparently. That doesn't sound super challenging to me, but maybe the cards are more about defeating a challenge that's coming your way. Instead of seeking out a new thing like the last trio, these cards tell you can handle what is coming your way. Overall, I give this trio a "you can do it" out of 10. Next are the integration cards, Temperance, the Star, and the World. These cards indicate healing, mastery, or fulfillment. You're integrating something else into yourself, even if it means moving past grief and accepting it as a part of yourself. They're more sagacious and ethereal, showing grace and development within an aspect of your life that you've already been undergoing. You master a skill you've been working on, you get over something that's been bothering you for a long time, and gain fulfillment from that. Overall, I give this trio the "You Did It" award. We now turn to the authority cards, the Emperor, the Hierophant, and Justice cards. This trio tells of structure, of strong values or morals, and truth. You're dealing with the Justice card. I feel like these characteristics are a given. The cards are firm. They literally have a sense of authority. Maybe you need to stand your ground on a belief soon, or maybe you need to seek out truth in something or other. Overall, I give this trio the borderline narcissist diagnosis. And the final trio is the spiritual awakening cards. The High Priestess, the Hermit, and Judgment. When looking at these cards, you're dealing with intuition, an awakening of some sort, and you're definitely going off your third eye. It's at this point in writing the script for this video, I came to a severe realization. I was gonna have to make this video either over an hour long, or I was gonna need to do some condensing. With all due respect to your time and mine, go check out this website for more information if you want specifics of each card. But I'm going to absolutely speed run the individual major arcana. 22 cards, a minute and a half. Let's go. The Fool, New Beginnings, Purity, Journeys, Young Spirits, the Magician, Self-Confidence, Resourcefulness, Inner Ability, the High Priestess, Perceptiveness, Self-Alignment, Internal Monologue, the Empress, Kindness, Loveliness, Romance, Connection, Harmony, the Emperor, Ruling, Strength, Structure, the Hierophant, Guidance, Messages from Above, Tradition, the Lovers, Relationships, Choices, Dedication, the Chariot, Overcoming, Positive Results, Personal Triumph, Strength, Victory and Success at the end of a long personal battle, the Hermit, Introspection, Intelligence, Solitude, Wheel of Fortune, Changing Circumstances, Power Shifts, Justice, Truth, Equality, Loss, the Hangman, Big Changes, Big Changes, Big Changes, Death, Closing Doors, Opening Doors, Cycles, Temperance, Harmony, Patience, Satisfaction, the Devil, Weakness, Bad Luck, Fear, Addiction, the Tower, Falling to Pieces, Weak Foundations, Endings, the Star, Hope, Healing, Positivity, the Moon, Deep-Seated Internal Feelings and Truths, Mysteriousness, the Sun, Happiness, Energy, Starting on the Right Path, Judgment, Transforming into your best self, Growth, the World, Triumph, a Happy Ending, and Fate. I'm now wiser, more capable, more intelligent, and a stronger person than I was when I first started this video. It's time for me to delve into real tarot. So, I know they told me to, buy a tarot deck that I personally connect with, and I gotta tell you, I connect with any tarot deck looking like this. I also went ahead and just bought this one because it was the cheapest and it can be found in your local Target, and that speaks to me because I am also cheap and easy to find. I gotta say, off rip, I feel pretty good. I am 22 years old and there are 22 cards in the major arcana. I feel like that will really benefit me. Ooh, who's excited? Who wants to tarot? Me, baby. I need to shuffle these cards while thinking about what I would like to know about the future. Will I get married? Will I be single? So we are gonna do a 3-card spread. Now the 3 cards tell of your past, your present, and your future. This card speaks to me about my future. This card speaks to me about my now. No, it doesn't. It speaks to me about my past. This card speaks to me about my present. Past. My past is the inverted Knight of Patience. Nope, the Knight of Pentacles. Ah, that makes much more sense. My present, the inverted Tower. My future, the inverted Ace of Swords. The Tower by itself normally means bad things are happening. The inverted Tower for my present means that I should be drowning in love. So that's great. I'm suffering from success. Call me DJ Khaled. And then in the future, I will have overcome this overwhelming surplus of love through the Ace of Swords. The fuck does the Ace of Swords mean? I don't know. So this is saying to me that I will get married, because it's the ace, it's one. So there's someone for me. I just gotta find him and get him. Am I gonna have a successful career? We're going from the top, it feels right. Past. Oh fuck, it's the devil. Oh. Why is everything inverted? It's the King of Pentacles this time. I'm fucking not loaded. It's inverted. Shit, I thought I was rich. I'm not. And finally, the Hermit. So what this tells me is that in the past with my careers, the devil, which indicates change, has been inverted. So that means that it's been very stable, it's been very safe. There's been nothing crazy. So the King of Coins usually would mean great wealth. I mean, it's the coins suit, but it's inverted, which means I'm broke, which is not wrong. But then we end with the Hermit. I think that means I will live a lonely career. How does that indicate anything? Maybe it'll be intellectual. I'll do a very smart thing. I got my college degree. I'm gonna freaking use it, bro. I'm curious, how am I gonna die? The 3 cards are no longer past, present, and future. They shift in their meaning. In this case, what our 3-card spread is gonna tell us is gonna be option 1, option 2, and advice. So this is advice. Oh, this card's advice. I felt the tingle in my fingers. Option 1. Justice, bro! That's a great card to die to. Option 2. The inverted Wheel of Fortune. Oh my god. Advice is the inverted 9 of Wands. So, justice to me for option 1 indicates that my death will have some almost karma to it. I'm gonna die at 52 and a half. You see, I haven't told you guys this. There's a family curse. Male dies at 52 and a half. My dad broke the curse. He's still kicking, but prior generations have not been so lucky. This indicates my death, 52 and a half. 30, I got 30 more years and then I'm kicking the bucket. It feels just. It feels equal. It feels equal because I've made so many jokes about it that it's fair for that to like get me. So the Wheel of Fortune in and of itself indicates like power shifts or like a change of circumstances. But because it's inverted, that means the opposite, where it's going to be very stable. This is old age. The inverted Wheel of Fortune here is old age. So I need to try to get option 2. The advice that the tarot is giving me is the inverted 9 of Wands. So this means I need to live my life less passionately. Maybe? No, dude, 52 and a half, but they're gonna be 52 great years.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So I guess we should start with the really easy questions. Do I think tarot is real? Like, do I think that this has read my future? No. Tarot to me is almost like astrology, which is what we're going to be looking at next. Spoiler warning. It's something just vague enough that you can ascribe meaning to it that satisfies you, especially with the 3-card layout of past, present, and future. Now, every card has meanings that are just vague enough that you can almost make anything fit, especially if you're going with these broad situations. You're looking at your relationships and you see in the past, I could have gotten any card and I could have looked at the innumerable relationships I've had across my life. Not all romantic, but just relationships in general. I could have looked at any of them and been like, oh, well, it's talking about this one. I could have looked at the present and say, oh, it's talking about this one. Because you're constructing the narrative, you almost make it fit, even when it really doesn't. You're just flipping cards. With that in mind, I think there is something to tarot. I'm not inherently going to continue doing this practice. Maybe I'll do it as like a party trick, but I think there is something very interesting to the psychological aspect of it. When you put the cards down, you go through the same principles when you don't know what choice you want to make, so you flip a coin, and while it's in the air, you realize what you want it to land on. You realize what choice you want it to be. When you do tarot, you're almost recognizing like, oh, this is what I want from my future, or these are the challenges I didn't even realize I'm facing. I think there is something to using it psychologically as a form of self-reflection. That's probably what's given it so much staying power. There is something to tarot. Now, is that real magic? I don't think so. It also is worth noting, I'm not a professional tarot reader. If I get enough support on this video or on my other videos in this series, maybe I'll make like a deputy episode or a corollary episode where I go to an actual tarot reader who will read tarot, and that would totally be a different experience. But for the moment, I gotta say, unfortunately for tarot, I don't think it's real magic. With all of that said, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. While you're here, why don't you subscribe? Make sure you don't miss out on that next video on astrology. I'm going to be a little bit more consistent. I know, I've made this promise before. But I'm finally graduated, which means that I don't have too much on my plate other than a job or two. So I'll be consistently uploading a lot more, and I'm really excited to do so. If you liked the video, I would love it if you liked. I would love a comment, love a subscription, but of course, only if you feel like it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day, evening, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and whenever you are watching this. Until next time, I'm gonna go see my future.